People have never been fatter, sicker and weaker than they are now. Whenever I travel to the US, I am blown away at how many people are fat and grossly out of shape. Canada is getting there too, but seems to be a decade behind or so. I was in Walmart here in Calgary the other day and literally became worried about Western civilization. Why are fat kids drinking Slurpees while their parents load the grocery cart with cheap processed poison? A common sight now. Obesity and diabetes are epidemic in North America. Why? Unfortunately, the common response to being obese seems to be taking drugs and then as a last resort surgery. It drives me crazy. The solution to the obesity epidemic is so simple and free that I don't understand why this is even a problem. Hey, I was fat too, and after a little reading and self-searching I have never struggled with my weight again. All we have to do is look back before our world changed and conspired to make us fat and weak for profit. Look back at how people lived before being 30% body fat was considered normal. Before the Industrial Revolution. Eat. People ate unprocessed foods. They did eat a lot of grains, but their grains were actually wholesome and were eaten to fill a hungry belly more than anything else. Meat was craved, and veggies were always beside them. Do not listen to anything you ever see on TV about food, especially supposed health food. If it comes in a wrapper and has any chemicals in it, it is not healthy or natural, despite what Kellogg's and General Mills would have you believe. I am a big believer in the paleo diet and as a result think you should only eat what nature has provided humans for thousands of years. Eat this. Natural or organic meat, tons of veggies, some fruit, nuts, natural full-fat yogurt, berries, fish, especially fatty omega-3 fish like wild salmon. Do not eat this. Grains. Don't believe the hype. Even the most natural grains are filled with phytoestrogens and phytates which actually prevent the absorption of nutrients. Milk. It is basically chemical sugar water now. It is so far removed from what comes out of a cow that I don't think anyone should drink it. Anything processed. Alcohol. Obviously sugar. It promotes cancer in the body and actually feeds cancer cells. Corn. It is a grain, not a veggie. Corn derivatives like high fructose corn syrup are killing our children with obesity and as a result diabetes. I should mention that nobody is perfect when it comes to eating well, especially me. The idea is to stay as true to a natural diet as possible so when you do screw up at a party you are not going to fall into a diabetic coma. Sleep before TV and computers. Do you know what people did when it got dark? They slept. They slept for about 10 hours a day compared to our current norm of 5 to 7. In fact, sleep is so important to weight loss and physical health that preventing it was a favorite torture method of the Soviets. Your body needs sleep to recover from damage and stress. It is how you repair yourself. Forget about late night TV and go to bed early. You will lose weight and feel better almost immediately. Did you know that Cuban Olympic weightlifters used to sleep 9 hours a day and then nap for 3 hours? I learned that from Dan John's site. They did this to recover from the stress of training and to keep their weight down to stay competitive in their class. I actually tried this for a few weeks a while back and never felt better. It was unreal. Exercise, play. Imagine a world of no cars. A world where if you needed to go across town you actually walked there, even if it took a few days. Maybe you rode a horse instead, but that is still fairly physical. Not to mention that they actually had to physically work each and every day just to survive. From hunting to building to carrying things, people burn some serious calories just living. Today people sit on their asses all day and then might hit the gym for an hour or so before going back to sitting. Unless you are moving for 8 hours a day you are sedentary, so stop thinking your 3-day-a-week gym schedule should be getting you lean. You need to train hard and often to really be physically fit. Unless you are an elite athlete you should vary your activities as much as possible. I recommend 6 days a week of good solid activity and 1 day a week of pure rest. Our lives are incredibly sedentary, so 6 days a week of varied activity will not be too much as long as you are sleeping and eating correctly. Before you surf along to a website that tells you it is okay to not exercise often and you can have abs too, remember that you can make exercise fun. It doesn't have to be a chore. Here is some direction. Number 1 sprints, 1 to 2 times a week. Number 2 lift heavy stuff, 3 times a week. Number 3 lift light stuff for high reps, 2 to 3 times a week. Number 4 long slow cardio, hiking or biking, not jogging, 1 time a week. Number 5 play, 1 to 4 times a week.